Welcome to the woods. It's quite nice to be back outside. It's a very misty, damp day, but quite beautiful here. All the seasons have their own special quality, and I quite like this time of year. It's that transition between autumn and winter. Yeah, it's nice. I like it. Anyway, I hope you lot are doing well. Thank you for everyone that left messages regarding my ailment. I'm doing all right, so cheers everyone. And I want to talk to you today. I want to touch on what happened in the budget with regards the inheritance tax that will now be levied against British farmers. I know there's been a lot of talk online. A lot of the farmers have put out their own videos. It's a continuation of something that started in the late 70s. Not in this country, not by our government. It was started by groups of people. Nowadays we have the WEF at the forefront, and before that group there was the Club of Rome and the Bilderberger group. These are groups of international business, finance, the people that run things from behind the curtain. They've always been around. We've known that. But slowly they've pushed themselves to the fore, no longer behind the curtain. And in the late 70s they decided that the best way forward for them, for control, was to come up with an enemy that they could unite all nations against. So it couldn't be a religion or a ethnic group, which had been the case many times before. The new enemy would be the climate and climate catastrophe, climate disaster. And what we're seeing now with net zero is the implementation globally of that enemy being pushed to the fore. The inheritance tax levied against the farmers is just another tool to eradicate privately owned farms in this country. They don't want anyone to be self-sufficient, least of all the nation. Everything has to be subservient and dependent on the system. So they're going to shut the farms down bit by bit. And they tried this in the Netherlands with compulsory purchase, and they're trying it here. They've been trying it for years, since the late 70s. This country's moved from a nearly self-sufficient nation of producers that produced the things we needed to something completely different. A nation that produces nothing. We were producing nearly 80% of the food we consumed, and we could have if we'd headed in the right direction, been producing 100%. But they chose a different direction, and since 1979, farming has been battered with legislation, red tape, taxation, that we now only produce around 30% of our own food. This final raft of taxation will massively affect the number of farms. It's weird. A lot of people I've spoken to think that farmers are very wealthy because they own lots of land. And they do own lots of land, hundreds and hundreds of acres. But they're cash poor. A lot of assets, but no cash. Which is why the numbers reduce every year. And now they're being told that when they pass that farm on, or if they sell that farm, they'll be hit with a tax bill that they cannot pay. So they're going to sell up, get out of farming. And there'll be Vanguards and BlackRocks and Gates Foundations queuing up to purchase this land and keep it fallow, barren. It's becoming apparent that they're not hiding what they're doing. When they came out during that lockdown period and said, you'll own nothing and you will be happy, that's exactly what they're doing. During that lockdown period, thousands upon thousands of small businesses went to the wall. I know quite a few of them. They never came back from that. Our high streets have been obliterated in the last 4 years. It's now betting shops, vape shops, Turkish barbers, nail salons, and Costa Coffee. Either some sort of money laundering front or a global corporation. You could drop me in any town in England and I'd be hard pushed to know one town from the next. It's a real shame. And we're not going to vote for a different political party who's going to change the direction. They're all in agreement. And at the end of the day, they're merely an administrative arm of a global power structure. So what can we do? Well, what was happening with the farmers and what's been happening with land purchasing was something we saw 4 years ago. We noticed what was happening, we saw what was coming. One of the reasons we started the Woodlander Initiative was to safeguard our land. If these global parasitical corporations manage to buy all of it, there's nothing left. So it's down to us yet again to start buying our own land. With that land, we can become self-sufficient. We can start our own small farms. And it's important that we own it. On that first plot of land we bought in Wales, we've already spoken to local farmers about lambs and beef cattle and crops. We've already got people interested in planting foods, planting orchards. If they control your food supply, they control you. So we need to start putting these things in place today. We need to put the foundations in now. We need to buy land in every single county. We need to be able to utilise that land. We need to be able to start businesses on our land. We need to be able to build structures on our land. We need to have our own places where we can go and we can be self-sufficient. If one person can do it, then so can 10. And if 10 people can do it, so can 100. And if 100 can do it, so can 10,000. But it all starts with making that decision to do it, to get involved. There isn't one of us that's got £1 million lying around to go and buy this land. But if we can get 1,000 of us together and everyone put in £1,000, there's our million. There's our start. We put ourselves in a much stronger position. And we've already started. We've already had success. The land is already being used. So it's absolutely disgusting what the government is doing to our farming industry. There's no point in just moaning about it. We need to become proactive. We need to start doing something. It's all possible. It's been done before. Get involved. Help us. Check out the Woodlander Initiative website. I'll leave the link below. I'll speak to you soon. Don't give up hope. There's a brighter future waiting for us, but it's us who has to build it. It's to the future, you lot. Speak to you soon.